YouTube, this is Red Dog Motorsports. My son and I are filming today because we are very excited about one of our next projects. We have picked up a new to us vehicle for our fleet, our menagerie, whatever you want to call our group of vehicles. But we have picked up a 1975 GMC Jimmy. This is a 350 motor, 350 transmission with a 203, 205 or 203 transfer case behind it. We have a corporate 12 bolt with the Dana 44 front. So we are a 4x4 vehicle. We do have the full removable hardtop with this one. It's a fiberglass unit. We'll get to that one in a minute. Of course, being a 46-year-old vehicle or whatever, it does have some issues. We've got some rust here in the front, down here on the lower parts of the fenders. We've got some around the fender wells down here in the bottom. We got the typical square body roach underneath the rocker panels. We got a sweat mark here from somebody's arm. Around the windshield, we've got some pretty big holes. So we'll get into fixing all of those. Interior, it's all here. Unlike a lot of these vehicles where, you know, we end up missing the armrests and things like that. This one, they're all here. It's just a Sierra version, so it's not the top end model, but it's got the full gauge cluster minus the tack. All right, so we're minus the tack. However, 74,937 miles. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that's what it looks like. And I actually believe it. If you look down here at the pedals, much like some other people do, looking at the wear, I don't think that this vehicle's rolled over in the mileage. I think that's pretty accurate. Being a Florida truck, it is AC. So we have AC on the built-in. It's not an aftermarket unit. Very excited about that. We have a little bit of cracking in the dash. That's good. Good. Pull back. Pull back. Come on out. Why don't you come on out, Ronan? The driver's seat is not in great shape. It's going to need to be redone. The driver's floorboard, it's got some issues. So we'll be replacing the floorboard. Coming on back around, we've got a little bit of work to do where the cap was sitting. Hand back a little bit, there you go. And we've got some minor rust down in here. But underneath the undercarriage, back up a little bit. Underneath on the undercarriage, it actually looks pretty good. I'll let Ronan show that here in a minute. Coming around tailgate, we've got all of the lights are in place. All of the emblems are here. The bumper's actually in really good shape. It's not all dented up, which is actually very rare. Almost all of these bumpers get beat up quite a bit. The rear glass is intact and it works. Got a horrible tint job to it. We'll have to take that off and probably get it redone. But it's here, which is just doesn't seem like these ones survive half the time. The interior and the rear is in pretty good shape. We do have some rust down here in the posts for the back on both sides. The floor itself is not in bad shape. I am missing the rear seat belts. I don't know when they were taken out, but they're gone. So we'll have to replace them. The rear vinyl's all there. Extend the handle out. So the rear vinyl's in pretty good shape. Probably still gonna have to replace it. I don't know if it's just the threads are tearing out, or if it's actually, you can see it in here.
Hang on, can you hold this
here?
there?
You can see right in here, at each one of the seams, I'm assuming that that's the vinyl tearing. I'm no vinyl guy, but it's there. We can seat cover it. We'll probably replace it. Our goal with this vehicle is to do a resto mod and basically get it back, because we want to use it as our daily driver. So it's going to be important to get some of this stuff fixed up so it can be a good vehicle on a day-to-day basis and not just an occasional once in a while vehicle. We do have some issues with the doors. Both doors have some rust in the bottom, so we're going to have to do something with those. This side's got a little bit of damage in the passenger floorboard, although the passenger seat is in great shape. So too bad the other one's not, but you can get seat covers for those. We got a lot of the original stuff in the glove box. There's a radio. Oh, the original radio knobs are in here. These are the parts for the top. Here's the original codes for all of the color codes and motor, or engine, all of that stuff's in here. Got all the bolts for the top, put the top back on. All right. We don't have, it doesn't have the selectable lockouts, so we'll have to put some lockouts on it. The goal with the resto mod for us will be a couple of inch lift, probably a 35-inch tire on a 17-inch wheel. We'll keep the axles that are in it. Unlike a lot of our other projects, these buggies and stuff that we build on a normal basis or work with on a normal basis, we're putting 1-ton axles and stuff. We're not going to do that with this. We'll keep the 350. We'll keep the 350 transmission. We'll even keep the 203 that's behind it. 203 is a good transmission. I mean, it's heavy, but nothing, or transfer case. Nothing wrong with it as a transfer case, though. In terms of body mods, not likely to do anything. I'm not going to try to cut it out and put it on 40s or anything like that. Turn this way. So we'll try to keep it stock. Even to the point of going back to some of the other wheels. Not these have got the old waggy wheels, wagon spokes. Not going to use those.
We're probably going to need a light, Dad.
I'm getting one. Under the hood, we've got everything here. I was really surprised when I pulled this open and found out that even the original air cleaner is here. I even have the pipe, the heater pipe as part of their evap system or whatever that connects to the header and goes up to the air cleaner is here. The original jack, I have the original jack, although I don't have the original jack handle. That is missing. But everything else is here. I'm assuming that the master cylinder has been replaced at some point just by looking at it. Just the top's pretty clean. But AC's here. Water pump's obviously been replaced. I don't know how recently, but this is a replacement water pump. Alternator looks like it could be original. We do have some belt issues. It is not running correctly at all. When I first got it, it was running on 6 cylinders. We'll start it up here in a minute and show you what we mean, but definitely not running right. Good oil pressure, so it runs fine. It's producing good oil pressure. We have the original windshield washer fluid container. We've got the original overflow for the radiator, which is right down over here. All that's here. So very excited. Underside of the hood actually looks pretty good. It's not roached out too bad. The front, we're starting to get some rust up in this area underneath the front lip. So that's going to have to be repaired. It wasn't a real fancy truck. It just was painted bumpers, painted grill, very little chrome. But any of that stuff that was here, it's all here. It's everything's there. It's just amazing to me that a vehicle this old would have everything in place. But let me start it up for you. We'll show you what we mean about how badly it's run. The motor. Well, that's about it. It won't idle at this point. I can't get it to idle. So if you'll come with me, we got the spare tire carrier. It's not in it. We'll mount that back in. Came with another set of doors, although they're for a 1500, not the Jimmy. In order to use these doors, I would have to either pull the skins off or I've got to cut them up top and over here so that they will fit the Jimmy, because the Jimmy doesn't have all of the full window around it, because the rest of the frame is here in the top. But we do have the full fiberglass hardtop. When I went and looked at it, other than the seals, it was in perfect shape. And then the previous owner was using a piece of equipment to pull it out of the back shed and ran the hardtop into a post. And if you look right here, he crunched it. And while he made it right in the price, I'm gonna now have to repair the top. Not happy about it. The guy himself was sick to his stomach, but what do you do? Things happen. It's repairable. We'll fix it. But now we got to sand down, and once that fiberglass repair work's done, we'll have to sand down the top and recoat it. Maybe we'll rhino line it or something. I don't know. We'll take a look. I don't want to get too far from being period correct, so that's just the way it is. Inside of it looks just fine. All the light covers are still here. On the other side, the two interior lights are there. So pretty excited about this. Along with the two doors that we got two front fenders that are off of the correct year truck, so we can actually, instead of repairing the sheet metal on those, we can replace the fenders. Maybe we'll practice our sheet metal work on those fenders first, and then if I screw them up, then I can go to these fenders until I get better at the rest of the sheet metal work. I've done a little bit of sheet metal in the past, but I think that some of that might be something that I'm going to have to really step up my skills on. I know that from LMC and some of these other manufacturers, we can get most of the body panel parts that I need, like the rockers, the floorboards. All of those are readily available. The one that I'm concerned about, I didn't point it out in the truck, is the cowl in that is really rusted out back by the firewall, and that one's going to have to be done. I don't know if I can buy that piece. I didn't see it initially. It doesn't mean it can't be found. Of course, I could always find a donor truck where that piece is in good shape, cut it out, and then install it in this one. The windshield frame is pretty roached, and again, for that one, I'm going to have to probably form each one of those pieces using a shrinker stretcher and you know, just actually hand form them and cut out each one of those rust spots to repair it, and then reinstall the windshield after that's all done and is painted up. But that's what we have for now. So we're really excited about this one. For our use, For right now, we're probably just going to get it running, probably get the soft top for it, and put the soft top so that we can use it on a day-to-day basis.